This is Eric from Pack Hacker, and today we're going to be talking about the tentree Mobius 35-liter backpack, which I've been testing for the past 2 weeks. Let's dive in. So starting with the exterior here, we have this nice black colorway, and it's actually crafted from 100% recycled polyester. And if you look, it has like a nice texture to it, and it's kind of soft, and it has that nice like matte finish, not shiny by any means, and it really does feel nice to touch it. And the recycled polyester is a good shout for sustainability. It's crafted from plastic bottles, which is great. Obviously there's a lot of single-use plastics out there, and repurposing them into things like this that will last a lot longer is a great shout. But another sustainability point on this pack is that there isn't a ton of padding here, but there is padding on this front here, and then obviously on the back for the back panel and inside on the laptop compartment. And all of that padding is bloom foam padding, which is made from algae. I'm not sure exactly how they do that, but it's also very sustainable, much better than any plastics or anything like that you would normally see. But online there were a few colorways listed, but this is the only one that's been available for quite a while now, this black. We really do like the black color. It's very matte and like unassuming, and there isn't any crazy branding on this pack either. We have this little, it feels like cork logo right there, and it's the tentree logo, and the brand is called tentree because for every bag sold they plant 10 trees, which is another awesome thing that they do. And this bag is, as I said, called the Mobius, and on this side here it does say Mobius. It's on the side, and if it's not a very full and you compress this pack, because it is compressible, you can't even really read that because it's kind of scrunched up. But nowhere else on the bag do you see any branding or anything like that. But on their site it says that all the buckles and the zipper and the trim and everything like that is all made from recycled post-industrial factory waste, which is a great shout. But I did notice that all of the buckles are also Duraflex, which is a great brand we really like, or actually I believe, Woojin. Woojin buckles. Got a little confused there. The two gold standard brands for us. So I'm not sure whether they requested this or if this is just something that Woojin already does. And these zippers are YKK zippers, which is obviously our gold standard for zippers as well. So whether or not that's something YKK and Woojin were already doing, or if they asked for that, it's a great shout from us for sustainability, because that is one of the main features of this pack is sustainability. But talking about the buckles and the zippers, very hard plastic, durable, easy to clip and unclip throughout the pack. On the back here we have the Sternum Strap, same deal here, easy to clip and unclip. Got the little whistle there that looks like it's removable. I couldn't quite get it off, but all of the hardware here is great. All the zippers are very, very smooth and easy to operate. The exterior zippers, and I think every zipper I was able to find is a YKK number 5. So not too beefy, but capable of handling a fair load. But I will say that there aren't that many zippers on this pack. We have a zipper here for this pocket, a zipper for the front pocket, some zippers inside that front pocket, but that's real. And then the back zipper here that goes all the way around. But other than that, those are the only exterior zippers, as this is a roll top bag. Moving on to the side pockets, here we have this water bottle pocket, which gets a good grade from me because I like carrying a big water bottle. You can see I have this big Nalgene in here right now, and because of the compression straps that this bag has to kind of compress it it goes from 35 liters to 16 liters, or vice versa. It has compression straps, 2 on each side. It's got 2 here, and then it's got 2 on this side as well. And those kind of act as a stabilizer for the water bottle. Like, this is a big water bottle, and it's got quite a bit of water in it right now, and I'm upside down shaking it. That's not coming out because I have it looped through here, and even if I didn't have it looped through there and just had it attached, I don't think it's coming out. But it's not, the water bottle pocket itself isn't that, revolutionary. It's similar to other water bottle pockets we've seen in the past. It's just the same polyester as the rest here, but it's got this little piece of elastic, so it opens a little bit more there at the top. And then it's these compression straps that really hold the water bottle in there. And we'll get to those a little bit more later, but those are great for holding a water bottle. On the other side, it's not, a lot of times you see the same pockets on both sides of a pack, but this one has a different style pocket on the other side, which is nice because this isn't really a hiking pack. You're not going to need 2 water bottles on each side unless you are the kind of person who really likes to stay hydrated. But on this side, we have this zippered pocket here, which is kind of hard to get to when the backpack is, because it's a roll top bag and it clips up here, the clip goes over that zipper. So to get there, you kind of have to go like underneath, and if it was really full and this was tight, it's kind of hard to do, so you might have to undo that buckle to get to the zipper. But easy enough to open. And then inside here, I have the bag moderately full right now. On my way to work this morning, it was really, really full. And I like keeping this Bluetooth speaker in here. And, I like sometimes if I'm, have a slow morning, I like to listen to music on the way to try and get me amped up for the day. So I like having a Bluetooth speaker in there, but today it was really hard to get it in there. Normally, like right now, see it kind of just slides in. There was a little bit of resistance at the tail end there. And that's even if you were to loosen these, just because it shares its space with the interior. So when the interior is super full, you're not going to have as much space there. So when it's really packed out, it's hard to get something in there. I had a book in there at one point, and then I loaded up the bag, and then getting the book out, I felt like I was like bending the book. So I had to take everything out of the main compartment and then get the book out, and then I put everything back in. So just be wary of what you're putting in there. This is, a big speaker, but by no means a huge one. And it slides in there pretty nicely when it's moderately packed, but once you get super packed full, it's not ideal. So, and if you have a smaller item in there and you don't want it to jostle around too much, once you zip it up, you can use these compression straps to kind of tighten it up so it's not moving around so much. But we'll talk more about the compression straps now just because we don't have anything in the side pockets. So like I said, it's moderately packed out right now. You can kind of see the 2 sides there, how they're, there's a little bit of, so I could loosen it a little bit. And you have a little bit more pull there. And then if I tighten it, and I'll take some of that space away, and it kind of makes the bag, it doesn't look great from the side, but I think it looks better from the front when you have it tightened up, especially when it's on the emptier side, because otherwise it's kind of like a little bit saggy. But when you do tighten it up here and you have an okay amount of stuff in it, the top, I don't know if you can really see that, but it looks kind of poofy up here. And that depends how you close the top here. Like if you were to roll it a little bit differently, you might get a better look. But that is something I struggled with this pack. When you see it on their site, it looks nice and perfect, but getting that perfect roll top was not something that was very easy for me. And moving towards the back of the bag, there's this kind of awkward area. I'm not sure the best way to show that to you, but between this zipper here and where it rolls, it's like it doesn't know what it wants to do, and it depends how much you roll it and all of that, but getting to the top handle here can be kind of hard. And then when you pull on the top handle sometimes, it almost feels like you're going to unroll the bag a little bit. And I never had it come all the way unrolled, but it just kind of pulls at it in an awkward way. There isn't much padding on this top handle, just like a little piece of nylon or something like that. That's what it feels like. It's folded over on itself, so it does have a little bit more density, but holding onto it for a long period of time is not comfortable. I hang my bag by the door, I just have a little hook, and it hung on there for 2 days straight over the weekend with a bunch of stuff in it, so no worries about the strength of it, but not super comfortable for hanging onto. Moving to the back panel here, and the shoulder straps don't have a ton of padding. They have that same, I think, foam that's made from the algae. It's enough for me. They're pretty dense, but if you like a padded shoulder strap, there isn't that much padding here. Very rigid. They kind of have an S-shaped design. They remind me a bit of the ULA S-strap that we saw on the Dragonfly. So they're not probably perfect for every body type, but they do kind of form to your body a bit with that S, but depending on your body shape, they might not be perfect. So the Sternum Strap has 5 different places you can place it. It comes off really easily. Getting it on can be a little trickier. but you can put it, wherever you want to put it. And these other loops are good if you, like having external things on your shoulder straps, like if you wanted to put a pen or a carabiner or something on there. Those are a good spot. And something that I didn't notice too is that on this, I guess your right side when you're wearing the bag, it has these two little attachment loops as well. I'm not sure their intended purpose. You could put pens through there, or if you wanted to mount something on there, you could as well. There's none on this side, which I thought was a little bit weird. But overall, nothing revolutionary back here, but it works. This is a very thin cord, and it has a little bit of elastic there, which is nice for if you're on the go and you need a little bit of stretch without adjusting it. But it's not the most comfortable sternum strap, and it didn't offer like a lot of security. Like normally when I'm wearing it, it's to like feel like good, like you have it coming across and you feel like you're more secure. Especially I cycle to work every day, and I like that just little bit of added. I don't know what a better word to use than security, with a heavy bag. And I didn't really get that with this. It obviously kept the shoulder straps together, which is nice, but I didn't really have that feeling I get from other sternum straps. It's not a huge deal, but something to note. And I do like, these are employed a few places around this pack, these little strap keepers. They're just like little pieces of elastic that go around here to keep the strap managed. Obviously this isn't a very long strap here, but down here we see the same ones. They're a little bit bigger down here because it's a bigger strap, but they do a good job of just keeping things managed. I have a bigger body type, so there's not much extra strap here, but I did just test, like pulled it down to see how it managed, and you can loop it up because it is elastic. So if you want to shove more in there to keep the strap short, you can do that. So nice addition of the elastic. It hasn't worn out at all either since I've been using it. So very nice addition. It's better than others we have seen. So we'll go like this real quick. These hide away, not hide away I guess, but just get out of the way pretty easily. You just fold them over like this, and then you have nice view and access to the back panel. The back panel has some nice aeration. There's not really any airways. There's obviously some seams here that, segment these different pieces of back panel. I didn't really get too hot while I was wearing this pack. It is the winter, but as I said, cycling to work, you can still get warm. So the aeration does its job, and there's enough padding there to where it's pretty comfortable. Something to note about the back panel though is I mentioned this area up here. If you really stuff this bag full, maybe more than you should, and there's stuff up here, you can feel where the back panel ends and where like the stuff is. It almost feels like there's something behind your head, and it's not uncomfortable. It's just like a little bit awkward, and maybe I stuff it more full than I should, but it is something I noticed, and it's fine. It's just one of those things that you feel it's there and you kind of wish it wasn't. But that's not really the back panel's fault as much as I think it is the roll top. But back to the back panel, as you can see, it has these zippers here. We have 4 zippers to open this back panel compartment. I'm not really sure why it's 4. I don't know what that offers over 2, but because like if you wanted to have it like just open at the top, you have 2 zippers there. But I don't like see the point of the other 2 to like, I don't really get it. If you know, let me know, but it's not something that I used. I would have been fine with just the 2 zippers. But having this back panel access is very nice. I'm not a huge fan of roll tops in general. I have enjoyed using this bag, but my main complaint with roll tops is normally that you can't get stuff at the bottom easily without taking the stuff out at the top or reaching your hand in like really far down to get to the bottom. But with this back access here, it's an added clamshell basically. So you can open it up like that, and you have access to everything that's in here, and also the laptop compartment, which I'm just realizing I forgot to put my laptop in there to show you, but we'll get to that in a little bit. But having that access is really nice, and it's also very padded, so it gives padding to the stuff that's in here. The laptop is extra padded, and then for your back as well while you're carrying it. So that addition is very nice, and I used it a lot just to get my laptop out because it's, like I said, it's not super loaded full right now. But when I did have it really loaded full, I didn't really want to, oh, here is my laptop. Thank you, Austin. Here it is. I'll put that in there now so you can see. There we go. So a lot of the time when I get home from work, I want to get back to work right away. So, you know, I'll take a break, I'll ride home if it's sunny out, get some sunshine, and when I get home, I want to work right away. But I don't necessarily want to go through everything in my bag. So, quick, there's my laptop, ready to go. So that, like I said, it's a really nice feature and something I'm very happy they included, because I'm not the biggest fan of roll tops in general, but when they have this, it's a big plus. So we'll put these back and move into this front pocket here. This front pocket is the only, I believe, the only zipper that actually has zipper pulls. They all have the little metal one that has the YKK insignia on it, but these are the only ones that have actual zipper pulls, and they're kind of cork material similar to the logo here. They're nice to grab onto, and they have the stitching through the center, so it's like a little bit of extra pull. When they get wet, they're a little bit slippery, but that, I'll show you a little closer. I'm not sure if you can see that, but there's that seam that runs through there, which adds so you can kind of grab onto it even when it's wet, like with your nail or whatever. But it's kind of almost, it's not clamshell, but it opens really far, just like the back panel does, and you can kind of open it up wide like that. So right now I've got, I'll pull these out just so you can see better. I was able to fit my keyboard in there, and then in the lower pocket, I've got my mouse, so you can get a better view, kind of. We've got these two kind of liner pockets here, which feel like the same material as the exterior. They're soft. It's all black in here, so like if you have a white cord, like Apple charger, you can see it very well. But if you had a black dongle or something in here, or something that isn't so easy to see, it's all black in here. Very minimalistic, but hard to find if you have black materials. These liner pockets are pretty big, especially this top one here. Like it goes all the way down to the bottom, and it starts about right here. So that's a pretty big liner pocket. There isn't a ton of room width-wise. Like if you look here, like that's as much room as you're getting between in this whole pocket. You can eat into the main compartment pocket a little bit, but if you're fully stuffed in there, you're not going to get much room here. So these flat pockets are obviously good for flat items. You know, Kindle, a book, or a tablet or something like that. This big pocket could fit probably, you know, close to a full-size iPad, depending on your case situation. But I do have my charger that's thrown in here as well. It does fit in this pocket, but because I had other things in there, like I had my keyboard in there, I didn't want to overdo it. But this is the big bulky charger. I have one that I normally use that's smaller, but I like showing this because I know some people still have this. And then on this back, the back panel of it, I guess you call it, we have two zipper pockets. The YKK zippers, again, very easy to open and close. And it's a different liner material here. You can kind of see that there's like almost like a little tree design in there, and then different, just different patterns on there. It's pretty nice to look at, but pretty good pocket space here. I think these two pockets are the same size. This one on the bottom I think is a tiny bit, it's not as deep, but both good sized pockets in here. Got my wallet, little emulator, and my point and shoot camera I never leave home without. And there was a little bit of room to spare in there too, so I probably could have fit some headphones or something in there as well. And then in the lower down pocket, got my cell phone, my watch, and my pocket knife. So a fair amount of space in this front pocket. Like I said, you know, there's not that much room there, so smaller, flatter items do well here. If you had something a bit more bulky, it's probably not going to fit well here, or it'll look kind of like silly because it'll be like bulging out. There is padding here to protect whatever you put in there. It's that algae padding, but you can still kind of like bulge through it a little bit. But as I said, flatter items will do better here. There's no, one thing I wish, because they have used elastic on this pack, I kind of wish this material here was elastic, because then it would kind of like stretch. And maybe there's a reason that they did that. But getting to the stuff in the bottom, or this bottom pocket, or even this liner pocket here, can be kind of difficult because you're stuck right there. But overall, you can fit a lot of good stuff in here, and good usage opportunities. Something else I wanted to mention that I forgot earlier is this material. Riding my bike to work this time of year, you know, there's lots of slush and snow and stuff like that. You can see a little bit here on the bottom. I left that there so you could see the mud that got on there. That pretty much continued all the way straight up here. And just before this video, to give it a kind of final test, I've washed it a few times. The tag says spot wash only, so you're not gonna be able to throw this in the washing machine or anything like that. But I just took a rag, no soap or anything like that, and just kind of rubbed it, and it came off really, really quickly, and it dried really quickly too. So cleaning it up was fine. There was even some salt on there too, because in Michigan, all the snow, they salt the roads. And the salt kind of grinded in a little bit like we've seen before on textures like that. Give you a nice shot of the texture again. But that came off too, no issues. In the snow, this pack handled just fine. I actually rode home with it, and it was an extreme weather warning. And we got a fair amount of snow when I rode home that day from work. And the snow just kind of sat on top of it. It was kind of warm actually. It was like 30 degrees or something like that. And the snow didn't melt. It didn't get through the pack material, which I was really happy with. And then when I got home, I just kind of brushed it off and we were all set. But in the rain, it doesn't do as well because the material isn't super weatherproof or waterproof, whatever you want to call it. After a few, spritzes of water with a sprayer, it starts to kind of get the material wet. There are a couple droplets pooled on top, but it's not great in the rainy weather. So if you do get caught in the rain, it's not the best pack. But for just quick to and from work, or if you're take it on traveling with you and you're not expecting to get caught in the rain, you're going somewhere where it doesn't rain all the time, or you're just going to and from the coffee shop and you have an umbrella, it's not the biggest deal. But it looks very nice and it does its job for the most part. But from there, we'll move into the roll top. So it's got these hard plastic buckles here on each side, and that's how you undo it. I like that a little better than when they come this way and they have like a clip here, because I feel like there's some wasted space between here and here. Like the clip would have to be on the pocket, and if it was on the pocket, you wouldn't be able to open this pocket without it. So on the side is nice, and it just is nice. It's not as convenient. There's two clips instead of one, but it is nice. So it rolls out here and it goes pretty far, which is nice. So I've really stuffed this bag full. On one day home from work, I had a couple pieces of clothes I was bringing home, and it was like full up to here. And I just did one little roll and then like kind of stretched it down, and I was able to fit quite a bit in here. So the roll top, if you need to, you can stuff it full. You're not going to want to do it all the time because of what I mentioned before about it feeling kind of heavy behind your head. But you are able to fit quite a bit in here. And inside, there isn't any organization really. There's the laptop sleeve, and that's really it. It's just kind of a big chute, almost like a garbage bag. I think the best way to show you the inside is to go through the back. So we'll open that up. So I've got just a sweatshirt in here right now, and then my lunchbox that I bring to work every day. But you've got, like I said, it's just a big area that there's no organization or anything like that. You do have the laptop sleeve here, but you're basically limited to what you do with the inside of this bag. So if you can use packing cubes, or you have different tech pouches and stuff like that, they fit in nicely. But if you're like me and you normally are just throwing stuff in there, things can get kind of disorganized quickly. But the more organized you are, the better with this bag. And if you're just using it to go to and from work and you don't have a bunch of moving parts, it's not a huge deal. Something that I think I should note as well is that when this is really full and you have this closed, and say you're trying to get your laptop or grab something out, these zippers aren't huge. I mentioned earlier they're YKK number 5, which is a fine zipper. It's very smooth and very capable, but if it's really packed out, this zipper and this zipper track is not really big enough, in my opinion, to handle that. So if it's really packed out and you want to get your laptop and you open it up, opening it up's not too hard, but because there's so much pressure on this zipper and on this zipper head, closing it can be a little difficult, and maybe there's stuff coming out and you gotta stick your finger to get it closed. So that's something to note. When it's really full, sometimes this doesn't work perfectly. I'm still glad it's there and it's manageable, but if it's something you need really, really quick, like you need your laptop really quickly, then you might be better off just going in through the top, grabbing your laptop, and then closing it up. But that's kind of just like a small thing. Like, as I said, I think I pack it too full, so that's probably on me. Normally a YKK number 5 is more than capable. And it is more than capable. It's just very particular use situations where it's not perfect. And one last thing I wanted to mention here is on the bottom, we have that same padding. It's almost, I think it might be the thickest padding that I've seen. It might be the same thickness as the laptop sleeve on the inside, but quite a bit of padding here, and it's flat, which is nice for leaning the bag because you don't always have a hook to hang it on. You don't always have somewhere to put it. So when it's packed out, it's not going to stand on its own. You see it's empty here and it's not standing on its own. But having that flat bottom is nice for, you can kind of just, if you lean it up against something, it's got that surface area to stay leaned. If it, you know, was rounded on the bottom or there wasn't any like structure there, you don't have that, you know, ability to really lean because it's just going to conform to whatever's on the bottom of your bag. And this padding is also nice if you have tech in there or like for the bottom of your laptop, it gives you a little bit of extra protection. So that's a nice addition. But overall, this pack really handled well. When I first got it, I didn't think it was going to be able to stand up to how I treat my bags, you know, commuting to and from work every day. You know, I didn't think that it would be able to handle it, but it really did. It cleans up nicely. If you get caught in the rain, it'll keep fairly dry, but it's going to soak through. So that is my one quarrel with it, but most people won't use this pack how I used it. So overall, very happy with it. And so there you have it, the tentree Mobius 35-liter backpack. Thanks for keeping it here at Pack Hacker, your guide to smarter travel. I'll see you in the next one.